Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. I have some news to tell you that, it's not going to be a surprise to you, but it's pretty shocking, honestly, on the economy. We got this, just came out a few minutes ago. Let's talk about that before we go back onto the freak show of a stock market that just continues to surge higher. Let's do that. All right. So, what did we find out today, people? Wholesale prices are skyrocketing, and those costs, no surprise, again, I told you this was going to happen, are being passed on to you. Wholesale prices rise 8.6% year over year, and that is unfreaking believable. It really is. And producer prices also skyrocketing. Here we are. We are in that spot that I warned was coming from a few months ago, that second wave of inflation, and we're not done, okay? What I want to know, seriously, is when do you believe the Federal Reserve is going to be held to account? We heard for months how this inflationary environment was just transitory. It was going to miraculously just go away. We heard recently from Fed Chair Powell, Yellowstone himself, that he believes inflation is going to persist. Now, change the narrative through next year until the economy normalizes. Are you kidding me? When, again, people, please tell me, because obviously I don't understand this. When do you think just one of our representatives, our so-called representatives, are going to call the Fed chair to account, or any one of these freaks who have been pushing the garbage, nonsense, dog shit, transitory narrative down people's throats? It's been a lie since day one. I told all of you it was a lie since day one. They make this stuff up. You have to understand. This is not by accident, okay? The Fed is deliberately creating inflation. They're trying to do it, okay? What have I told you for years and freaking years? The Fed was going to inflate, and then inflate some more. You and me, we clearly understand this is by design, all right? But when do you think people are going to wake up to it? They're being propagandized. They're being lied to. The mainstream freaking propaganda ministry tell them to look here, don't look here. We got skyrocketing energy prices, supposed supply chain disruptions, and that is what's being blamed for skyrocketing inflation. It is not. It is the Fed who continues to, what are they doing, people? You know what they're doing. Issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door. This mechanism here, at its core, is meant to create inflation. And this is what central banks are doing around the world, people. Look, central banks are the enemy. They are the enemy of the people, all right? And they are taking over the world. Taking over the world. What do they need to do? Shut down the global economy to finish what they started over a century ago. To become the lenders and buyers of last resort. To become the ruling body of the world. This is the real reason why our freaking imbecile, not one of our imbecile representatives who represent nothing, we have no representation here, is calling the Fed to account. And they're going to let them do what they're doing. Because they work for the Fed. All of them, even the last president, and of course the one before him. I'm talking about Obama. I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about this freak show guy we have right now. These last three presidents have empowered the Federal Reserve more so than every single president going back to George freaking Washington combined. These three presidents, people, have really vaulted the Federal Reserve into a new paradigm, allowing this new world order to take its stranglehold on all of us. And they are actors, okay? People believe that Obama was the savior of the middle class. That didn't work out too well. President Trump, same thing. Oh, I love America. We're going to make it great. We're going to make it great again. Yeah, he made the Fed great again. Oh my God. Beyond belief. And this guy here, the same kind of mechanism. It's not going to stop. It doesn't matter. The faces may change and their acting jobs may differ from one to another. But again, they're all working for the Federal Reserve, okay? That's it. It's a distraction mechanism. That's all it is. And who's suffering here? The people. Which class of people has been getting wiped out over the last 3 presidents, including this one? How about the entire middle class, okay? The rich and the well-off, doing great. Couldn't possibly be doing better. The ones at the lower rung, what do I always tell you? They're done. They're done already. It's the middle class that is getting wiped out, exterminated by design here. You can't make this stuff up, people. You can't do it. It's unfreaking believable. Anyway, so like I said, this is the economic news, and it's freaking incredible. Wholesale prices skyrocketing, producer prices skyrocketing, and all that stuff is being passed on to you. Just like I said would happen, people. Let's move forward here. We got stock futures flat right now. 10-year yield lower, dollar lower, MMRI in the mid-80s. Nice setup for the stock market. Crude oil continues to get bid higher. Bitcoin like 68,000. I hope you got some of this stuff, people. I don't know what else to tell you. I know there are so many of you out here that just continue to miss the boat repeatedly. And I know maybe some of you don't understand the asset, and that's fine too. But I don't know. Look, my take on this. It really should be a part of your portfolio. And in my opinion, cryptocurrencies in aggregate are going much, much higher. Right now, gold and silver are trading about flat. Okay. You know the story behind gold and silver. We're betting against the debt, people. We are becoming our own central banks. I don't care at all what they do with the price action. It's not real. The whole market is not real. There's nothing here that is what it seems to be. Nothing. From the political spectrum to the markets and everything else. We are watching literally the fall of an empire. We've been watching it for a very, very long time. Every single great empire throughout history falls for the same reasons. Corruption to the highest possible order. Okay, they're not allowing the free market to work. We have this new government system, this merger between corporations and this new thing that we have here. We have no representation, as you well know. I keep talking about this over and over again. Doesn't matter who sits behind the Resolute desk. I told you it could be a freaking farm animal. It won't matter anymore. And there'll be people, believe me, if they would have put a kangaroo, okay, which is like a zoo animal, behind the Resolute desk, I want you to think about what I'm going to tell you. If they put a talking kangaroo behind the Resolute desk, there would be people that would believe in the talking kangaroo. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they would do. They would think it was the greatest thing in the history of the world, and we need another talking kangaroo for our next president too. Doesn't matter. They don't matter. I really hope you're starting to get this, people. I really, really do. So anyway, here, people, look, before this video goes, before I go nuts here, what do we got going on here? More absolutely abysmal economic news, and it might be enough to drive the stock market higher. Okay, people are being meant to suffer. Let me explain this to you. The system here is designed to create slaves. Slavery, okay? Slavery to debt. What we have here is a situation, again, that continues to get worse. Household debt, consumer debt, personal debt, which is hyper-ballooning. Okay, a wipeout of a certain class of people, the middle class here. The system is designed to make them have to go out, take out loans, struggle, and keep them under pressure, making them ill. You have to understand that's a whole other part of this too. When people are stressed out, when people can't make ends meet, what happens to them? Their immune system becomes suppressed. They start catching all kinds of diseases. They eat wrong. They get diabetes, hypertension, all kinds of other. And this, what does this do? This enriches big pharma. Let me explain this to you if you don't know. This whole this thing that's going around, I don't want to mention it here because they might not put this video out, has been the biggest friend to big pharma in the history of the world. They are reaping windfall profits again, people. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right? And, you know, we got warp speed freaking vaccines and all kinds of other crap here, all designed to enrich Big Pharma. At the expense of who? You, me, everybody else. How many drug commercials do you happen to see on your TV? Is it like plastered? Like every single other commercial is a drug commercial? You see what they're doing here? They're trying to make people sick with the Frankenfood. You understand that? I hope you do at least here. So they become, again, it's worse than a slave. They're deliberately destroying people's health, keeping them unhealthy so they become, you know, consumers for life to Big Pharma. I'm telling you, people, if you really understood the system and how twisted it is and how sick it is, you'd be running for the freaking hills right now. And I don't even know if that would help you, because right now we are in a freaking economic meltdown and a complete wipeout of a entire class of people. And it's going to get so much worse moving forward. I really hope you understand that, people. Nothing is going to get better here. And with regard to inflation, you haven't seen anything yet at all. Again, and the narrative, the falsehoods, the propaganda is going to keep getting shoved down your throat, because this is a new world order. Like I've explained to you, would come from a long time ago. We've been foretold this, and here it is. Welcome to it. Anyway, people, look, I got to tell you something. This video will be my last for the day. Unfortunately, today I have to attend a funeral, and it's a sad event for a young man who passed away. Anyway, so I have to take care of that later. So you will not see me at the end of the day. As I said, I will be attending a funeral. People, I love all of you. I really, really do. And I hope you're understanding what you're seeing. Pay attention to these things, what's going on around you, the games that are being played with regard to everything here. Again, Frankenfood, keeping people ill, making them slaves to debt, making them suffer a wipeout of an entire class of people, a stock market that just keeps marching higher, grand theft on an unimaginable scale. Middle class has been robbed of trillions of dollars in realized wealth, and the Federal Reserve continue to suppress rates, create inflation deliberately, and becoming the ruling body of the world. The ruling body of the world. You have no representation here. And again, it could be a kangaroo sitting behind the Resolute desk. It will not matter. And there's going to be people that will worship that kangaroo. I guarantee you. All right, I'm out of here. I will see all of you in the morning. Please share the video. Ponder these things. I will read the comments later on. And I'll see you tomorrow.